a wildfire like this is a symptom of climate change. We had 2 incredibly wet years these past 2 years, followed by an incredibly dry year. In Los Angeles, we didn't get any rain from April of 2024 until February or January of 2025. We had 9 months with no rain at all. And so after 2 years of rain and vegetation growth and all of this, we had 9 months for all of that to dry out. And then it happened to also coincide with incredibly high Santa Ana winds, which is not like directly related to climate change, but we just had this perfect storm situation where everything aligned to create, a fire situation like this. And so it is a symptom of climate change, but it also exacerbates other impacts of climate change. We also had a harmful algal bloom again this year for the 4th year in a row. We can't say that the fires were the cause of that because that bloom actually started in December, but it's pretty clear that it did exacerbate the situation, adding more nutrients to a system that is already kind of overgrown with these algae. From the Heal the Bay perspective, one thing that we work on a lot is reducing plastic production, because plastic is a petroleum product, which means that it goes back to fossil fuels. And not just keeping plastic out of our ocean, but actually creating less plastic in the first place so that it doesn't get in our environment at the end. And so, individual folks can work with nonprofits like Heal the Bay and work on those bigger systemic issues of tackling the fossil fuel industry, which no one person can do on their own. But what I always, will mention, if folks are just looking for individual actions that they can take, there are a lot of things that we can do in our day-to-day life, including eating less meat and saving water, things like that, that might not feel like they make a big impact, but they're a daily reminder to ourselves and to everybody around us why we're in this fight and why we do these things day after day. Also, we're focused more on creating a circular economy where there is reuse and refill infrastructure that's available to people. But I think it's also really important to explore the opportunities for that, because in an emergency situation, you have to have bottled water, right? And if we can create a plastic that is biodegradable that we can use in those emergency situations, that's going to be better in the long run.
Are you guys?
We see that too. We're big fans of natural solutions and creating habitat that provide multiple benefits. And in Los Angeles, having palm trees and green grass, that's a status symbol. But monoculture green grass does nothing for biodiversity.
Right.
And so there's starting to be a little bit of a shift towards having more diverse, rain gardens and other things like that, moving away from that green grass. But as a status thing, that is still the standard here, and that's something that we're slowly trying to shift. Same thing with what makes a beautiful beach. Is it, introduce people to the beauty of the natural spaces? That shift can happen over time.